Okay, welcome back. We're off to France next. As you can see, we've got a busy timeline up till then. I've gone for some sponsor advertisements for the drivers, powertrain equipment upgrade to get us some resource points and to continue beefing up what they're up to, and the team is getting a marketing conference. This is all to try and get us as close to that level 20 as quickly as possible if we can help it. So let's dive off because we've got a few other things coming in too. So let's move up to, there's our power equipment upgrade, and there's our running costs complete with R&D. So still waiting on that powertrain stuff sorting itself out, which is rather frustrating because I want to get that in and going. Oh, I've got enough for that though, you know. Okay, let's push forward a day. There we go. Oh yes. Ready for the next race weekend. And that gives us the spec 3 in terms of the R&D. Oh yes, this is a joyous day. Okay, so that gives us ultimate engine power, ultimate ultimate fuel. Oh, there's something about me that just says, should we wait? Oh, because that would be juicy for ultimate engine power, you know. I think we'll wait. And we'll smash that when we do practice at France. Yeah, great. Oh, the world is good. Okay. I didn't expect that to actually put us up to level 3, but that is great that it has. We've got some piston rings in as well. And some heat dispersing rings. Did everything go to plan? Yes, it did. Okay, did we also want... we could. No. Don't. Go for the big chunky gain in the engine, and I think that will sort us. And then we can kind of finish off with some juices on the aero and the chassis and hope that the reliability will pull us through. We might have to turn our attentions to that a little bit, but we're off to France for practice. I'll catch you in a smidge. Okay, welcome back after practice. Practice went rather well, which surprised me. But as you can see with the weather, we've got a wet race, but a dry quali. So I'm going to do something with my setup when we get into the qualifying session, because it's going to dry, but I've got a feeling it will stay wet enough for enough of the race to mean that we need some kind of hybrid-y setup. All of our developments came through fine, which, as you can see on the performance progress chart, pulling away from Mercedes, which will help. Red Bull had a good upgrade, which keeps them very much in third. Racing point just ahead of the Ferrari, Renault, Alpha Tauri and McLaren sandwich going on there. Haas have also had a tiny upgrade, which has moved them ahead of Alfa Romeo, which is interesting. And Williams, I think, have had a tiny upgrade, but they are very much at the back. So, first things first, let's go and apply our components. Then we're going to dive into our R&D tree, because as we've got 2,420 points, I'm umming and ahhing over what I want to do next. And essentially I'm thinking, he says, what do I go for essentially to upgrade everything? So I was toying with either the rear downforce here, although it says it's drag reduction, but you know what I mean. And then I spotted here that because we've got this up to 14% now, this now becomes a standard part that we can get in quite quickly and sorted. So that to me is the place where we're lacking. Let's go for the ultimate engine power and really push it out that way, which is kind of against what I was thinking a little bit earlier on. But I am tempted with the undernose turning vanes for ultimate front downforce. Sorry, not rear downforce. And it has the biggest gain in terms of like actual bar graph, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going to go with that, to be honest, especially as it's on a 16%er. So let's go with that. I checked everything. It won't let us get anything in before the Austrian Grand Prix anyway, so that's fine. So in it goes. That's sorted. I'll probably go for the powertrain next, to be honest, and just keep that morale up as good. And we'll go from there. So, apologies for the rambly intro. Let's dive into quali. It's going to be nice and dry here. But what I'm going to do, and I was just testing it out to make sure, I'm going to change my rear wing so that it's 6.7 rather than 6.5, because in the wet, if you have a lower rear wing than you do front wing, oh my goodness, you're in trouble. So in my head, this is the way to compromise it. I was contemplating going 6.8, but I think I'll get mugged down the straight. So I think this will compromise us in quali, but let's see how we go. It's the second half of the lap that I'm better at. Crumbs. Ooh, not great.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Bottas, Hamilton and Alexander Albon. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
I'll try. So Bottas got the pole there from Hamilton. Albon sneaked into third ahead of Smithy, Deletraz, whoop, side by side. Perez next, then Kvyat, Gasly in the top 10, as is Ocon for the other Renault, Norris in between them. Stroll, good position in 11, ahead of Ricciardo, Sainz and Leclerc, so Ferrari struggling here. Russell, Giovinazzi in the racing points, big gap, wow. Then Max Verstappen ahead of Grosjean, who's beat De Vries. Then Magnussen, King and Latifi. But yeah, big old gap there. 6 tenths between Russell and Giovinazzi. That racing point, not performing up to task. But I think there'll be different setups going on here depending on what's happened. So maybe. I don't know. I'm never sure. I don't know if they actually have, like, unlike me, where I have to have like compromising setups, I'm not sure the AI care. Slowly inching in on that level 20. Come on.
Here we are once more at the Le Castellet circuit for another
looks
round
like
of this year's Formula
blue
1
tyre
World
weather.
Championship. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Albon, Smith,
Where am I?
Louis Deletraz, and Perez, Kvyat, Norris, Ocon, and Lance Stroll, Ricciardo, Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Russell, Giovinazzi, Verstappen, Romain Grosjean, and Pierre Gasly. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. De Vries, Magnussen, King, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then. It's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay. This is going to be a tricky one, I think. And we've not had wet practice either. So I'm going blind. I'm going in blind, rather.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay. This is going to be carnage. Not confident at all. Oh, that was quick. Oh! One of them go round? No, we're okay. There's Albon into second though. Oh, that corner. There's like no grip. And I'm genuinely struggling to see the circuit.
Let's capitalize on that first lap.
It's too grey. Oh my god. Oh wow, sorry to everyone there. I think I've just thrown Albon off the track. I didn't mean to.
VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
How is that an illegal position?
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Oh shit. Oh god, go through Louis. Oh god. This is going to be a car crash race, I know it. Okay, go Louis, go!
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
I think we've burnt enough. Okay, so that's Norris and Bottas in as well. Sorry.
Green flag.
Oh, and now there's more drama. Kvyat, Perez, Ocon. 3, 4, 5. To be fair, Kvyat is in a Red Bull. It's just that that Red Bull just does not seem to be thriving in their hands at all. No retirement in that yellow flag either, so more drama. Oh, no, Grosjean's out. Oh, and his home Grand Prix as well. That's a shame. Parked right at turn 1? Oh, come on. That's a yellow flag, surely. VSC, even. Okay, come on. So used to taking that corner flat out, it's really difficult to not take it flat out, if that makes sense. Because of the muscle memory of it. Oh, is that Perez going round Kvyat? Juicy. Then it'll be... Okay, so Kvyat does get to stay ahead. Shit. G2? Okay, it's getting easier to drive now. Yeah, look at the chunky betterness that we've got here. Ooh, 8th gear. Okay. Tell you what, Perez is causing himself an awful lot of problems, and that's going to let Ocon through.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Wow.
This
That
is
was
your final
silly
lap,
of
final lap
Perez.
the race.
And that should see me alright for seconds, so long as I don't completely fuck it up.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Oh! Deletraz takes the win. Is that going to be a complete reversal? Yes, it is. That's exactly what happened last lap, but the other way round. Perez gets back in front of Ocon, mainly because I'm desperately trying to cling on for some more. Christ. Not quite the 1-2 for Minardi.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done.
That was
a
horrific.
fantastic drive.
Well done, Deletraz, for the win. Good day for Minardi. Great day for Kvyat and Red Bull as well, second. Good day for AlphaTauri, I think, with 4 and 6. Well done, Louis. Well deserved.
What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Me?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Oh, Giovinazzi in the points for the first time this year.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix.
Well
that's
done,
for
Louis.
Sure.
I knew if I stuck with you, you'd get there eventually. Daniel looks quite pleased with himself as well. You've made him look a bit goofy, actually. Okay. Doesn't unlock us anything. Oh, we didn't get there anyway.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Smith takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing,
Wow.
Who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Louis Deletraz gets my vote today. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it. But I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate, so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
Let's move on to the Constructors. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
nice.
a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
So the big winners there, obviously us, through my incompetent driving, basically pushing lots of people off the track and into the pits. So, sorry Albon, sorry Hamilton, sorry Bottas, sorry Norris, I think. What a mess. Perez, great result for 4, Ocon 5, still good though for Renault. Stroll 6 for AlphaTauri, making a great day for the AlphaTauri team. Sainz grabbed 7, Ferraris both in the points this time with Ricciardo and Leclerc 8 and 9. That's their strongest showing since the 1.12 update. Giovinazzi grabs his first point just ahead of Russell. Gasly, Hamilton and Bottas rejoined, got themselves back up to 13th and 14th, interestingly, getting ahead of Verstappen, who can't score again in the AlphaTauri. De Vries, Albon with a penalty there. I wonder if that's from my hit, actually. Norris, Magnussen, King, Latifi had to pit as well. I thought I saw a Williams kicking around all on its own. And Grosjean. Let's have a little look. And then everyone just done inters, didn't they? Yes. So yeah, Hamilton and me. Oh no, Albon hit Latifi and got a 5-second time penalty. Interesting. That must have pushed Latifi in for the pit stop. Grosjean mechanical. Albon with a penalty. There. Front wing galore, laps 2 and 3. The car handled like a pig early on and I couldn't see the track. Sorry. So standings wise, we move into the lead after all that by 4 points. Then Ricardo Deletraz leapfrogs up into 4th in the standings. Wow. Then Leclerc, Sainz moves ahead of Hamilton, bizarrely. Kvyat, Albon. And the Red Bulls now together as well. Ocon ahead of Norris and Gasly. Perez and Stroll move ahead of Verstappen, whose scoring has kind of drawn to a halt. And there's Giovinazzi now officially 17th in the standings with a singular point. And there we go. We move ahead of Mercedes. Ferrari were already there. Red Bull do move ahead of Renault, I believe, with that. I think. Or were they ahead already? No, I think they'd have been ahead already with that. There's no other changes there. Great stuff. Okay, moving on.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Why is it sunny for you, love?
You've taken the lead in the championship. Are you going to be able to keep up that momentum? Do you think that your close rivalry has helped you out this season?
Yep.
How do you feel the competition is for you this season?
It's been great.
How did your team respond to the poor conditions today? Great. Well, that's everything.
You're welcome. Don't know what it does for me, but we'll see. So that should mean that we've won the battle with Albon. With 2 races to go, all done. Boom. That pushes us up to 17. Oh, you'd have thought that would have given out Deletraz a bit more. But that's been huge for us to leapfrog forward to getting up to 20th. At least Deletraz managed to keep his nose out of it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, well. But that is a juicy bonus there. And that is putting Deletraz well on the way for a retainer, because I wasn't sure. Okay, let's see what we're off to with Austria next. I've decided to go for the podium celebration and some promotional driving, because that's the only other one I could fill in. Mainly so that we can keep up the percentage in the R&Ds, so that I can decide whether I go with powertrain or whether I go with chassis or whether I go with aero for my latest upgrade. Might go with aero to just kind of polish off getting that whole thing completed and done. But that's what we're going for.
You're not currently in a rivalry.
I know I'm not.
Sooner or later,
But we will be after practice, probably.
who you consider
I'll
to
catch
be
you in a bit. Okay, welcome back after practice, which went exceptionally well, which now makes me slightly dubious about the race. But it's going to be dry, so that's the main thing. The first thing I've done is select Hamilton as my rival. This is normally like a really good stretch of races for me, so we're going to go for it. We've also gained enough R&D points for me to go for this engine upgrade here, which is what I want to go for. 2% failure chance. We'll see how that goes. But look at how that will bring us into contention. We've also got coming up, I believe, right immediately after this race, possibly, a minor upgrade as well. So that's going to be handy. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of pick off these two and return to the engine later on. But I think that will be great if we can get that. On the progress report here, it was Ferrari and McLaren. Sorry, Renault, my bad, that bought the big upgrade here, or a medium one at least. It looks as though Racing Point have bought a tiny upgrade here as well. And that's all. Everyone else has stayed the same, so that's interesting. We'll see how that transpires. Oh, let me just quickly swap over all of my stuff again. Bring these into the race. And then let's go to quali. I'm expecting this. I'm hoping this will be the most boringest race of the lot, and I can skip most of it because this is the track where I am most at zen at, and I think I'll have a good enough pace advantage car-wise over everyone else. So, meh. Just stay dry, please. That's all I'm asking. And don't bungle it, obviously. Good. El Perfecto. Oh, 102.
Fantastic. You've got
Wow. That's nuts. I think that is the fastest lap I've ever done around that circuit. I wasn't expecting it to be that perfect. I thought I'd scrape pole just, but then that would give me enough advantage for the race, but grand.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Smith, Bottas, and Alexander Albon. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Red Bull did look strong in practice. I didn't realise that would carry through to the race. They've got very good chassis. Not chassis, aerodynamics, which must be the key round Austria because they've improved. Gasly 6, Deletraz down in 7. Not grand, but we can work with that. Perez, Norris and Sainz, so both McLarens in the top 10. Russell just outside, that could bode well for him, as well as Ocon. Giovinazzi doing decent enough as well. Leclerc top Ferrari in 14th. Christ. That's Verstappen's best for a wee while. Ricciardo, Stroll, Magnussen ahead of De Vries again. Interesting. Then Grosjean, King and Latifi. So, Nick De Vries not basking himself in lots of glory. Still yet to score in this game. This is his second season.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg. And it's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Smith lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Hamilton, Daniel Kvyat, and Gasly, Deletraz, Perez, Norris, and Carlos Sainz. Russell, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Leclerc, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, and Kevin Magnussen, De Vries, Grosjean, King, and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay.
Our After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. There we go. We do go. I go through the fuel quite a lot here. Albon's not got away very well. I think he's got it back. Oh, Deletraz, great start up to 5th. Loving that. I think Kvyat may have just got him back. Oh, I hope that isn't those two colliding. Deletraz has got back through on Daniel.
That's a good start. Keep it up.
Albon's got back ahead of Hamilton in all of that as well. Interesting. Bit of a gap back to Deletraz though, that's not what I want to see, but okay. Let's get going, start pulling a gap. Oh, Schnauzer. And again. On the track, Simon, on the track. Haha! I think it's because I know I want him out of DRS range.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Oh,
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
Is that yellow flag there? Well, the only one's in then, so it's Gasly that's gone through. Russell's in 8th, kind of all on his own.
Release.
And it's Ocon and Norris.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to
No
the end.
way. Are we going to get out literally in front of Verstappen? Oh, there was a yellow flag flick up there.
Okay, clear.
Ah, Nick de Vries is out. Okay. But yeah, it's Perez that's causing the issue. He's not pitted. And is buggered up everyone else's race for what looks like a dodgy wing.
Louis is in the pits. Louis in the pits.
Yeah, this is easily one of the most, if not the most, spread out race I've ever seen. People aren't exactly pitting straight away either, which is interesting.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.4 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 2.4 seconds.
Ah, Deletraz out just in front of Stroll. behind Stroll even. That might cause a problem or two. If he doesn't get through quick, and he's not. Albon's gone on to hards. What's that about? Bottas has leapfrogged him anyway. Not quite got Hamilton though. So Bottas and Gasly go round again. That has ruined it for Alexander Albon. Weird tyre choice.
Has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
Bottas. Bottas might well hold this, you know. Yeah, Bottas is fine. So yeah, it's Albon that's lost out. He's dropped behind Hamilton, Deletraz and Kvyat, and he's on a harder tyre, which means he'll be going slower anyway. I won't be able to lap them, but the fact that I can see them up ahead is shocking. Or is it? No, it's a Haas. No, it's not. It's a Williams. Running a bit wide there. Trying to work out who it is. The most simplest win I think I've ever had in my life. Whew. Good one. Yes, Louis did do a good job. 6th, 7th on the grid to 4th in the race. I will quite happily have him do that.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix.
Both Mercedes up on the podium for the first time in a while. Nice. What do we unlock? Oh, a new hat. Thanks.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Smith takes over the lead of the drivers' championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So this is interesting. So first and a fourth, that gives us 38 points. That gives them 33 points. So first and fourth versus a second and third. If we keep going like that, we do inch away points wise. So that's handy to know. Because I think it could end up going a bit like that quite often. Kvyat best of the rest in 5th. Gasly got past Albon for 6th and 7th. Albon on those hard tyres dropped right back. Really lost out. Russell 8th. Clung on at the beginning to that top end of the field, but sunk back. Norris, once he got round the wounded Perez or Stroll, whichever AlphaTauri it was, climbed up to 9th and made good headway. Ocon for 10th in the Renault. Verstappen ended up 11th for Alfa Romeo. That's good running for him with that car at the moment. Perez, Sainz didn't score. Ricciardo 14. Stroll, Giovinazzi dropped back. Leclerc dropped back. Christ almighty. Then the Hasses kind of not really on the back of them, are they? Not great at all. Then Latifi and King, nose to tail. Probably King being held up by Latifi by the looks of it there. De Vries a retiree. Ocon on hards. Grosjean and Latifi on hards. That might be why they fell back quite so much. Oh, Ricciardo and Giovinazzi had a collision, and I ran wide on the second last lap. Front wing change for Leclerc, that's why that ruined it for him. Nothing else went on there. Looking at the standings, we are clear now, 12 points from Bottas, that's good. Ricciardo 3rd, Deletraz still 4th. Ferraris will be tumbling down that order given their current things. This really buggered me up for this Constructors Championship because Ferrari were doing me proud to keep Mercedes out of top spots. Hamilton now up to 6th ahead of Sainz. Yeah, that is a thing that happened. Kvyat and Albon now scoring points regularly. That's good for them. Gasly moves into 10 ahead of Norris. Ocon drops back. No other changes, I don't think. Nope, still no scores for De Vries, Magnussen, Grosjean, King or Latifi. And no changes in the Constructors. 37 clear though for us over Mercedes. That is healthy. Considering there's going to be races where I will drop, and I know Deletraz will have grid penalties for reliability because we've not focused on it for the Minardi. So we need to have the points now because it will shrink, I think, on the end of the season and races where I'm less strong. This is like my stellar point, so to speak.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Things are looking up after last week, aren't they?
I mean, they were hardly terrible last week. I was just 3rd, not 1st.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do? Great. Well, that's everything.
Keep asking me about Williams as if I'm going to go there and be offered a contract. I don't think so. Oh dear. So that's 5 versus 3. That's helpful in the rivalry breakdown because that gives us 7 versus 4. I'm hoping this will be enough acclaim to boost us so that we can get towards this level 20. Which will hit, I think, in about 3 races' time, maybe. 3 good races' time. Good cash as well. Okay, Britain's up next. First thing we're going to do is just renew those beautiful sponsors because they are good for me. Next we're going to do is renegotiate with Louis Deletraz, I think. That's a rating of 79. So I'm happy with what he's doing. I'm assuming you want to stay. I'm quite happy to do a low risk and just get it done. Signed. Lovely. Thank you very much, Louis. You're in. Gives us, what, 6 million. Helpful. Okay, So for my activity timeline, we've got chassis department focus. That gets us some R&D points as well as chassis awesomeness. Then I've gone for the vehicle PR filming, which is for 4 days and gives us 20 grand cash as well as all of that acclaim. Whereas the in-depth sponsor event just gave us 5 days and just the acclaim and not the cash. Very strange. So that's what we're going for. I want that level 20 to get that next sponsor in. That's all I want. As well as just keep on going with what we've got here as well, especially with morale being good. Let's just quickly go across to the customization. I don't know why it decides to remove the logos of everything for decals whenever you renew something. So sponsor 1 is Pacifico, we're fine there. Sponsor 2 is Xenon, we're fine there. Sponsor 3 was there, then it was... We're doing Zanari, aren't we, there? Or Zanzari, sorry, there. And sponsor 5, our weird little energy company. Or whatever it is. Oh, there we go. So Deletraz is now considered equal to De Vries. I know the... How? Oh, plus 15s obviously, and then plus the 10s on everything, so that makes sense. Okay, I feel a little less meh on it now. It's interesting though, you could go for all of those and still beat out what Deletraz's ratings have gone for. Be interested to see who pops up if they decide to retire a driver again this year. Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Great. Okay, what does that do for us? 1,490. Oh, I could. You know what, do it. Tiny little upgrade to that, that'll be fine. We can focus on reliability and durability another day. Okay. 7.5 million. We'll be able to, I think, get in another facility upgrade at this point as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Just having a quick look. We'll be able to do that. Oh, I could do the aero straight off the bat, but I don't really want to push it. I'd quite like the simulator upgrade to get Deletraz right on. Or even the build time actually for the powertrain stuff, although to be fair that's kind of now sorted and done as well, so I would get more bang for my buck with the personnel and marketing stuff sorted. Anyway, let's go off to Britain. Okay. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.